Tonight, we're unpacking one of the more quietly dramatic moments in celebrity culture recently, the story of Kylie Jenner, Timothée Chalamet, and a Thanksgiving that, by all accounts, didn't go as anyone expected. Before we dive deeper, if you enjoy calm, analytical takes on Hollywood's tangled relationships, go ahead and subscribe. We break down the stories behind the headlines without the exaggerated chaos, and there's always more coming for you. Kylie Jenner has spent her life in the spotlight. From her early days in reality TV to building one of the most recognizable brands in the world, she has always managed visibility with a mix of strategy and flair. She's a billionaire, a mother, a businesswoman, and a public figure whose every move is scrutinized. Yet, as this Thanksgiving story demonstrates, wealth and fame do not insulate anyone from the complexities of human relationships. Sources indicate that Kylie was reportedly looking forward to spending Thanksgiving week with Timothée Chalamet. On paper, it sounded like a simple, even heartwarming plan. Reconnect privately, celebrate the holiday, and spend time together with family. However, the reality appears to have been far more complicated. According to insiders, Timothée did not show up for the holiday. For someone expecting a reunion, this absence is more than a minor disappointment. It's a signal of boundaries being clearly drawn. Timothée Chalamet has always maintained a relatively private approach to relationships. Unlike many in Hollywood, he rarely makes public statements about his personal life. He avoids declarations that might be interpreted as commitment, even when paired with a figure as globally recognized as Kylie Jenner. This discretion is consistent with his career-focused, low-profile persona, but it also creates a tension when one partner, in this case, Kylie, operates in a world where visibility often equals validation. The dynamic here is worth noting. Kylie reportedly anticipated not just a private moment, but a holiday presence that could be shared with her family and children. She was reportedly excited about the opportunity to have Timothée with her, framing the potential reunion as a significant, personal moment. Yet sources indicate that Timothée explicitly set boundaries: no appearances at family events, no public acknowledgement, and no holiday involvement. The only way Kylie could engage publicly would be through high-profile events, such as red carpet appearances, which generate significant media attention. Essentially, personal connection was limited, while public exposure remained valuable for him, not her. This situation underscores the contrast between personal expectation and celebrity reality. Kylie's world has always intertwined personal life with public perception. She has built a brand and persona that thrives on visibility, often leveraging her relationships as part of that narrative. Timothée, on the other hand, values privacy, career focus, and careful management of public perception. These differing approaches naturally create friction, particularly when public expectations and personal intentions collide. Sources suggest that Kylie may have attempted to reconcile this gap by framing the potential reunion publicly. Even if the plans were private, her excitement and anticipation became part of the broader narrative, highlighting how the celebrity ecosystem blends personal and professional interests. For Timothée, the absence was not personal neglect, but rather a reflection of consistent boundaries he has maintained throughout their relationship. Kris Jenner, according to insiders, has reportedly played a role in advising Kylie to step back. The guidance appears to be strategic: protect Kylie's public image, prevent unnecessary drama, and avoid creating narratives that could be spun negatively in the media. This is an example of family influence in high-profile relationships, a dynamic often unseen but incredibly powerful. For Kylie, the advice likely serves both as protection and as a reminder that public perception can sometimes outweigh personal emotion in celebrity circles. Timing also plays a significant role in this narrative. Sources note that Timothée had recently returned from Europe, where he was filming, and had been in New York prior to that. While Kylie may have interpreted his absence as intentional distance, it seems more likely that professional obligations and personal priorities dictated his schedule. This distinction, however, is subtle and often lost in public perception, where absence can easily be interpreted as rejection or disinterest. The story becomes more layered when considering the reported offer Timothée made to Kylie: attend high-profile events like the Mardi Supreme red carpet, where her presence would generate media attention. In other words, she could still be visible and engaged in the public eye, but only in ways that served publicity purposes, not personal connection. For observers, this creates a complex dynamic. Kylie gains exposure and association, while Timothée retains personal boundaries. Fans have had a wide range of reactions. Some criticize Kylie for investing emotionally in someone who appears unwilling to publicly commit, pointing out her wealth, influence, and options. Others empathize, recognizing that even those with immense resources and recognition experience disappointment and hurt. After all, emotional investment does not scale with bank balance. It remains deeply human, regardless of fame or fortune. A closer look at the patterns in Kylie's past relationships provides additional context. She has historically demonstrated willingness to reconcile or maintain closeness, even after breakups or slights. Timothée's consistent privacy contrasts with her openness, reinforcing a cycle in which public and private expectations misalign. This tension is compounded by the visibility of her family and the attention paid to her every move, further complicating even minor relational decisions. As the holiday passed, there were no confirmed appearances by Timothée with Kylie or her family. The absence remains a point of speculation, leaving the narrative open-ended and subject to interpretation. For Kylie, this may be disappointing, but it also allows room for strategic navigation. She can choose how to present the situation publicly without immediate confirmation or contradiction from him. As we move into the aftermath of this Thanksgiving saga, it's worth reflecting on what it really tells us about relationships in Hollywood, particularly when one party is a figure of immense public interest and the other prioritizes privacy and control. For Kylie Jenner, the story is more than just a missed holiday. It's a microcosm of the constant negotiation between personal desire and public expectation that defines her life. She reportedly anticipated Timothée Chalamet's presence, not only for emotional fulfillment but also for social validation, a way to demonstrate closeness, connection, and perhaps stability. Yet the reality was that his boundaries and priorities were set on entirely different terms. Timothée, by contrast, maintained his distance in a way that reflects a carefully curated approach to public and personal life. He offers no public claim, no holiday presence, and limited acknowledgement of Kylie, but he leaves room for strategic appearances. In essence, he controls the terms of engagement, ensuring that his privacy and professional interests are protected. This is not uncommon in Hollywood, where public exposure can have far-reaching implications, but it highlights the imbalance between expectation and reality in celebrity relationships. Sources suggest that Kylie was offered an alternative form of engagement: attend high-profile events like premieres, where her presence generates significant media attention, indirectly benefiting him. This kind of transactional visibility, where personal connection is secondary to public image, is a hallmark of modern celebrity dynamics. Kylie's willingness to consider it, despite personal disappointment, reflects both an understanding of the ecosystem she operates in and the emotional complexities she navigates. The tension here is subtle, yet profound. Kylie's disappointment is deeply human. Even with wealth, influence, and access to practically anything she desires, she experienced rejection in a way that is both personal and public. Timothée's choices, while strategically sound, underscore the reality that celebrity relationships are often asymmetrical. What one party perceives as acceptable, the other may see differently. This asymmetry is magnified by media attention and fan scrutiny, which often assign narratives of judgment and speculation without context. Kylie's family influence cannot be understated in this scenario. Kris Jenner's reported intervention, urging caution and suggesting that Kylie step back, illustrates a level of awareness and strategic thinking. In high-profile relationships, the line between personal guidance and career management often blurs. Here, Kris's guidance is likely aimed at protecting Kylie from emotional fallout, media misrepresentation, and potential reputational harm. The advice to pull back is not just protective, it's a calculated move in the chess game of public perception. The broader context is equally revealing. Reports suggest that Kylie has historically been willing to accommodate partners' schedules, expectations, and boundaries. Timothy's firm stance, no public acknowledgement, no holiday participation, challenges this dynamic. It creates a scenario where Kylie's natural inclination to reconcile and maintain closeness conflicts with the structured, deliberate boundaries he sets. In many ways, this is a case study in the negotiation of attention, availability, and emotional investment in the high-stakes world of celebrity relationships. Fans naturally have opinions. Some argue that Kylie's emotional investment is disproportionate given her resources, independence, and options. Others highlight the universal nature of disappointment. Emotional expectations don't scale with net worth or fame. Even billionaires and public figures face rejection, frustration, and the complexities of human attachment. Kylie's situation is emblematic of this truth. Despite every advantage, the nuances of desire, disappointment, and boundary setting remain profoundly relatable. Timothée's approach also emphasizes the modern celebrity balance of visibility versus privacy. By limiting personal engagement while allowing selective public appearances, he maintains control over his image and professional narrative. This strategy ensures that he remains in the public eye when necessary, without compromising personal autonomy. For observers, it's a reminder that celebrity relationships often involve complex negotiations that blend personal boundaries with media strategy, a delicate balance rarely visible from the outside. The story of Kylie's Thanksgiving experience also raises questions about the interplay of expectation and agency. Kylie reportedly anticipated emotional closeness and a public opportunity to share moments with family, yet Timothy's absence disrupted that expectation. Her ability to navigate this, whether by controlling the narrative, choosing to step back, or considering the alternative of public events, reflects both her media savvy and the emotional agility required to operate in a life under constant observation. Importantly, the narrative does not portray Kylie as helpless or naive. She has significant agency, wealth, and influence. Yet, even in these circumstances, human desire, vulnerability, and attachment play a powerful role. The disappointment of Thanksgiving is a reminder that emotional fulfillment is not guaranteed, even when social standing, financial power, and public image are nearly unparalleled. It's also critical to note the subtle commentary embedded in Timothée's decisions. By maintaining boundaries, limiting public exposure, and offering selective visibility, he reinforces a model of agency that prioritizes self-determination over emotional accommodation. For Kylie, this means recalibrating expectations, reassessing engagement strategies, and navigating the intersection of personal desire and public performance. This interplay is emblematic of Hollywood relationships at large, where emotional connection, public perception, and professional positioning intersect in often unpredictable ways. As the holiday passed, no definitive confirmation of Timothée's presence emerged. Kylie did not share photos or public acknowledgement that would indicate he attended, leaving room for speculation, interpretation, and media narratives to flourish. This ambiguity is telling. In a world obsessed with visibility, the lack of confirmation itself becomes a powerful statement. It demonstrates that absence, silence, and non-engagement are as significant in celebrity culture as public appearances. So, what can we take away from this story? First, even someone with Kylie's resources and influence can experience disappointment, emotional complexity, and boundary negotiation. Second, high-profile relationships often involve asymmetric expectations and priorities, which can amplify both frustration and speculation. Third, public perception and personal desire do not always align, and navigating that gap requires a combination of media savvy, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. Ultimately, the Kylie-Timothée Thanksgiving story is a reminder of the layered realities behind the headlines. It's a case study in the intersection of personal expectation, public image, and celebrity strategy. Kylie's disappointment, Timothy's boundaries, and the family guidance offered by Kris Jenner all highlight the complex dance of relationships under constant scrutiny. It's not a story of scandal in the traditional sense, but one of emotional nuance, strategic navigation, and the quiet drama of expectation versus reality. And if you've followed the story with me, breaking down the subtle tension, the strategic choices, and the personal implications, make sure you subscribe. Here, we don't just report gossip. We unpack the dynamics, the psychology, and the media strategies that shape what we see. These are the stories behind the headlines, and there's always more coming. As for Kylie and Timothée, the narrative continues. Absence, boundary setting, and strategic visibility will likely define the next chapter. And while we wait to see how the story evolves, we're reminded that even in a life filled with privilege, access, and influence, human desire, expectation, and disappointment remain complex and compelling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next breakdown, where we continue to explore Hollywood relationships, personal dynamics, and the stories behind the social media headlines.